Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers, Facebookians. This is a quick short video. Sometimes when I say short, it means long. But anyways, let me get down to brass tacks, shall I? So anyways, I have a couple people out there wondering how to break it to their family, especially a good friend of mine, how to break it to family about being transgender. Well, it's not going to be easy, okay? Now, with me, I will give you my story, and then you guys can figure it out. I will throw some ideas out there. First, before you decide that you're truly transsexual, and you want to go through the transition from male to female or female to male, just remember that you have to have a psychiatrist and a therapist and maybe a primary care physician diagnose you. So by the time you're getting ready to take estrogen and start transitioning, and etc. And by the way, the other day I was in this shirt. Don't worry, this shirt is reused because I wash my clothes by hand and I hang it up in the bathroom on my clothesline. Yay! So, sorry about the pillow in the background. Usually it's flat. Aaron had been here. He was watching the first 6 innings of the ball game and then left. He's like, keep me informed, but this is not about baseball. Okay, so what happened is I knew around 3 or 4 that I was different. I knew at a young age that I was transsexual, or at least a girl, and I told my family I was born with wrong plumbing. Well, I got kept putting in suits and being told, no, you're a boy. Well, finally, I told my mother, and she told her doctor, and then the doctor said, put it away in your heart in the back, and eventually you will know if it's true or not. Well, I started telling my mom my clothes were wrong, and I'd be trying to wear under my clothes dresses, tights, bras, panties, etc. Just thought it would be normal, for me. Well, it is, as you can see, bra. I'm wearing, I think, a pink pair of panties today. I don't remember. Nope, black. Black panties. So, anyways, and I wear this, as you can see, my bracelet. So, and I have a female haircut, so it's all good. I used to have my hair natty, but as you can see, it gets in knots. But now I have to do this. Probably December, I will spend the money and I will get my hair trimmed up again and bobbed. That's the way I like it. It looks so cutesy. I might get it bobbed right before going to my trip too. So, but anyways, for gender confirming surgery. But the point I'm making is this is what happened. Is once my mom put it in her heart. My mom asked me once between 10 and 12 years old, and then 12 to 14, 14 to 16, if I still wanted to be a girl. Well, I saw a psychiatrist, I saw therapists, I saw different people at different places, and, I went through different therapist groups that had psychiatrists on hand, and they kept saying, well, we'd like to treat them for their transgenderism, or at the time transsexuality or cross-dressing or whatever, but it wasn't cross-dressing because finally around 1993, about 1993, I decided to see a psychiatrist and a therapist in Seattle for about 3 years. And I still saw them afterwards when they changed hands, but the one lady told me to go ahead and transition, but at the time, I didn't know where to go or where to set up things, so at that point, my mom asked me around 18, because it's just me, are you going to do this? I said, I don't know, I need some time. All around 19 and a half years later, or not 19 and a half, 19 and a half years old, I decided I went to my mother in certain time, 1998, 5 years later, so about, 19 or so, And I said, I have met a girl who's transgendered. She would like to get me on the right path. My mom said, good. Where is she from? I said, Melbourne, Australia. Eventually, I ended up down in the land down under, and I started hormones. I started everything. When I came back, I was feminized. My stepfather, kept telling me I looked like a girl. One time when we were out, he slammed me into a barber's chair and told them to give me a buzz. Then I did not want to go out for months. Finally, I just said, enough's enough. Listen, I'm not wearing your overalls, you're this, you're that. And he's like, well, you're a boy. No. Since then, I don't have any contact with my stepfather or my stepbrother. They thought I was a freak. So, but the bottom line is of the story is if you have a good way to tell people, do it. Wait till maybe you're diagnosed transsexual, or if you do come out, you come out in small nudges, or just say, I've been pondering this for a while now. It's been rattling around my head. I need to get some help to see if this is true, because if it is, I might want to pursue, or most transsexuals do, pursue down the path of transitioning. So before you sit there and say, oh, well, I don't know, just remember there is people out there that my hair is sometimes stubborn. Anyways, just remember there's people out there that can give you guidance and moral support. It's just, you can't just jump over the deep end and say, oh yes, I'm doing it today. You need to take lessons. If one family member might accept, another one might just be totally opposite and say, whoa, this is a Bible thing. This is wrong against the Bible. Don't let it get to you. My family, when my mother died, my entire family decided to leave and not talk to me much. I got one aunt that talks to me, one sister that talks to me, another sister that wants to accept it, but, her daughter this and this drama that, and no thank you, and then, but then again, she tells me I'm not an attractive woman, but look at her. She's almost 50, looks like the crypt keeper, and her body's just turned to mush. From all the drugs and the drinking and the gambling and the what do you call it? No offense to anyone watching and listening about this drama part, the worries and everything else. All the stress has given her, changed her body to be plumpy, and then she complains, I need to wear it lose weight. Well, then people say, oh, you're so perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm just a person. So, coming out, you can do it different ways. You can also go, and if you want little nudges, you can also turn around and say, well, I don't really want little nudges, but how about writing a note? Oh, and sorry about these. This is my other pair of pants, and they got a hole in it too. So I try to, limit my movement, but this is my in apartment housing hole pants, so I don't have to go out. So it is pretty good. So anyways, so trying to let it out to people. Sometimes you could just be direct with them and say, hey, I'm looking into this. I think I'm transsexual. I'm looking into this thoroughly. I will let you know. If family says out, or if family says something like, you do this, you're out, or whatever, you better keep your bases covered if you really want your happiness, and you don't want to live in life being a miserable male going through at 60 or 70 years old. Then you should be doing what is necessary to make yourself happy. So, otherwise you are not going to get anywhere in life. And that perspective, then you're going to sit there and live your entire life with a wife and children and miserable unhappiness. And then what? Yeah, well, it's not that bad. It is if you are a miserable old man that looks around and realizes you can't get everything in your heart because you decided to try to be the normal guy and trying to suppress it. Suppression only works but suppression doesn't work. You just need to be yourself, and that is the key there, being yourself. If you can't be yourself, then you will be miserable the rest of your life because you're living a lie that is not you. And so you need to release that self. Now, if you're male to female, and you know that you every time you put on the dress and you look really beautiful and you say, "This is me," then deep down in your heart, you have to let that out. And that means letting your family know, too, that you want your happiness. You can't sit there and conform to what society wants. And then if you don't get through it and you say, "Oh, no, no, I'm just a cross dresser," or whatever, then you're going to get people to sit there and say, calling you names like faggot and queer and stuff. It's wrong. You don't need to be called all those names or beat up. So you need to let your family know. Now, if your family's violent and they might beat you up, it might be best just to keep it to yourself. And then when you get a chance, avoid them and just do what you want. And your family finds out. You can always write a letter. Letters aren't bad. Postage is paid. You write to the ones you know that will help you, and it goes from there, and it goes from there. By the way, what you're wondering is this. I use one of those spiral-bound notebooks for writing letters and stuff. So I pulled out a piece of paper. I usually just tape them together, so I don't have to go and trim them all up, fold them up, and I just throw them in an envelope. But you get the idea. You see, the bottom line is being yourself means being true to yourself, not sitting there and trying to conform to society. So family wants you to conform to society. It's time for you all to find new family. But if you have family that's very supportive, like my mother was, my mother said, "This is my child. They want to be my daughter, fine." Problem is, with my mother, she was kind of upset. She had 5 girls. She told me she didn't know if she had a 6th one, but when she did finally come through with it, she was fine with it because she was preparing for it since I was 3 or 4, and she talked to the doctors who, at the time, were trying to diagnose me with many things, and transgenderism. Well, it was on the table, but the thing is that they couldn't take care of it. Nowadays, you got these young ones who's like, "I'm going to kill myself if I don't get this and that," and then the parents put them on estrogens, and then they feminize, and then they're like 14 now, and it's like, "Well, I want surgery. I want to be a genetic girl, even without periods." And, and then people say, "Oh, well, they're destroying their body, or they're mutilating their genitals, or they're mutilating their body." I mean, if surgery was banned in all countries, we would die for emergency service surgeries. And then, but you got these people out there that say, "Oh, well, it might decrease the population." Well, maybe, maybe not. The problem is some people are just rude a-holes. But stepfather disowned me, my stepbrother disowned me, and then I disowned my sister when her best friend, or I should say her daughter, decided to steal from my best friend. He put her up in his house, his apartment. They stole. I didn't have room in my place. So, what else? My entire family accepted through my mother, but they didn't want to know me, basically. It's like, "Oh, Rita's, oh, who's that? Oh, that's Rita? Oh, well, I just keep them away from me. Oh, stay in the van. We'll talk to your mom out here. You stay in the van." And one of the uncles like, "When you get a beaver or a vagina, you can be classified as a woman. And then maybe you will want to have sex with a man," which he was talking about him, the old pervert. The guy basically claimed he had sexual intercourse with many girls that were in Brazil and Argentina that were training, and Thailand and Philippines. "Oh, yeah, they were great screws." Like, I really need to hear a drunken up black velvet-o that drinks too much whiskey-o and then just sits there. I mean, the guy was, in my opinion, a hard alcoholic and a beard up drunk. When he couldn't get his out hard liquor, he was drinking his whiskey. But when my mother died, one aunt who was on Facebook checked in with me. One sister did. The rest, one aunt, oh, well, I got this to do. Oh, you're transgendered. I'll just keep an eye on you, but I won't say anything. My religion keeps me from it. Um, or the other one, oh, you're going to hell because I'm Lutheran. Stay away from me, The religious aspect. Paul wrote the Bible, so you can't trust everything in it. The Nag Hammadi scriptures, the Gnostic Bible, and the Gnostic Gospel, or the Gnostic Bible, basically stated through the Gospel of Thomas that Jesus was saying when he says, beware the leaven of the Pharisees. He was talking about beware of Paul rising to power. Paul changed the doctrines around. His disciples they were thinking he forgot to take bread. So, anyways, there you have it. So, before I go on and on and on and on, I just want to share that with y'all. How to choose is easy if you know what you're doing. Write letters, maybe. Do an email. Or just sit down with them and say, this was rattling around in your head. Maybe you wanted to let it out. Let the female or the male out that you truly are. And if they accept, it's fine. If they don't, well, there's other people that can truly love you and support you. You don't need your entire family, unless you live with them. Then you better work out a battle plan before you decide to sit down and figure it out, because you don't want to screw over yourself and end up homeless. Me, I was just lucky. My father, when I met him a couple times, I told him, he's just like, And then again, he thought because I was in an environment of all girls, pretty much, and only had my cousins around once in a while, that changed the entire playing field. But no, my mindset is female. The other day I was, but I'll do a video about the mindset too. That might work too, but there you have it. So you got some ideas. You can write letters, you can email, you can call, you can even submit your diagnosis of your psychiatrist or your therapist to your family and say, I want to talk about this diagnosis. And just say, maybe like, well, this is the diagnosis. If I don't go through this transition, I will be miserable and it could be the end of my life, or etc. Something that works that might or might not work with you, but there's always things out there. Even Google some of the answers or YouTube it. They're always out there. So, there you have it. Please add and subscribe if you like. Please post comments, leave feedback, suggestions. Thank you, and may God bless the world.